Yo, haven't done an update video in a while, so it's just been pretty busy with getting the website running, going back to work and training and everything. So yeah, that and a few other things going on. I just haven't really been prioritizing the YouTube channel at all. But here we are. So yeah, like I said, my main priority at the moment has just been injury management. Actually, I've had a couple of just knocks and niggles and things that have come up. Another broken nose, hurt my back, and yeah, it's just the run of the business with the game, I suppose, in jiu-jitsu. So it's just been a bit of a management period. I had a specialist appointment that I've finally had, that I booked in January, about my nose and things like that, my face in general. Obviously it got a little bit of damage that was more than just the cut on my face at ADCC in Thailand, and I found that when I got back, my sleep has been really bad, and I mean, my nose has been broken many times, and in jiu-jitsu or boxing or MMA and stuff like that, and it's just not working anymore, like much, if at all. And it's really impacting my quality of life. So anyway, I booked this. I managed to get the doctor to get me a specialist referral, and I went to go and see him, the ear, nose and throat specialist, yesterday. And it's looking like it definitely needs surgery, reconstruction and things like that. And I mean, like the details of it, I won't go into too much, but like essentially the damage isn't just like the normal stuff with like a deviated septum and stuff that some people have, like where the cartilage and stuff isn't working. Like I've got a lot of structural and bone damage right up in the bridge where that cartilage and the bone connect, and it's making it pretty much impossible to get good like airflow, consistent airflow, or like if any. So yeah, as the specialist was explaining, like it's a septoplasty kind of procedure, and yeah, I mean, I left that and I was just thinking like, fuck, like this is quite a full-on major surgery, I guess. I know a lot of people have had it. I've been talking to a lot of people who've had it, and they've said they've had good recovery. So I'm not super worried about the surgery, but I am worried about what the doctor was saying, that like post-surgery taking more knocks and damage and then trying to repair on top of pre-existing repair is just not viable. And I was thinking about that in terms of comps, and just like I always just come away banged up from comps and things like that. It just doesn't get any easier to recover and things, and it just made me start thinking about whether I want to keep competing and things like that. And I mean, I like what I've got out of competing. It's always helped me to improve my jits, and it gives me more knowledge to bring back to my training partners and stuff like that. But it's never been like the be all and end all of jiu-jitsu for me. It's been really cool to compete. It's been over 10 years of competing, and I was just like, like if I can't compete after this, it's not the end of the world for me. Like I can still train, I can still coach. Probably have to skip the MMA stuff, which is the biggest bummer for me, actually, because I really enjoy MMA. I'm never gonna have a fight. I'm 34. I'm under no illusions that that is something that's past. It's never been something that motivated me anyway, so it's more just like, oh bummer, I'm not going to be able to like spar and stuff like that. So I think even even the people I've talked to about the procedure and stuff who are like, oh, you know, like I've had it and it's really good and things like that. I'm like, that's awesome. You know, it makes me less apprehensive about having the surgery. But it does make me think a little bit more about like, hey, you know, what's that window of competing like that's left? Because, you know, you can't do it forever. And so, yeah, you know, I've been thinking about that a lot since then, and I don't think about it in like, oh, you know, fuck it, like, oh, I'm never going to be able to do this again, blah, 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 blah. It is what it is. Maybe it'll be structurally strong enough again that I'm like, oh, you know, like, cool, I'll be able to, I feel confident enough competing and stuff. But yeah, I guess it was just a little bit of like a calibration and a wake-up call, and the way that the doctor was framing it, it seems that like a lot of martial artists really only get this once they finish competing. And I was like, oh, well, why is that? And he was explaining, you know, all the risks and the level of reconstruction that they have to do is more than just a little deviated septum. I mean, essentially they're going to have to go back and like kind of peel back most of the front of my face, I think, and work on the sinuses and the bone and everything like that, because it's that fucked up. I mean, he couldn't even get the scope up there to really see what was going on. Even after numbing cream, it was agony when he was just trying to inspect it. So yeah, I mean, I had this kind of thought because, you know, there's that thing, it's like, you never know when your last day on the mats will be, or like when your last time competing will be. And I don't know, there was almost something like I felt like a sense of relief when I came out there, and I was like, shit, this could be the end of competing when I get this surgery. And yeah, there was a sense of relief rather than urgency, and I think like kind of sat with that all of yesterday, and I was like, you know what, like that's actually not like, yeah, it's not the end of the world. Like I find coaching, I find training the most rewarding part of jiu-jitsu. I always have, and I was just like, yeah, you know, like if we can schedule it for a time where it's after these ADCC trials in June and after Vegas in September, then like I'm all good with that. Like, you know, I've fought in T-Mobile and Thomas Mack at ADCC in Vegas and stuff like that, and you know, I've won some things, I've lost some things, and it's like I don't mind if I have to go, okay, cool, we'll put a bow on that, you know. It's yeah, it just kind of made me think about all of those things. So, you know, with that, and you never really want to say never. I don't really want to go like, oh, I'll never compete again. But, you know, it's a significant surgery. I guess maybe because I've been quite fortunate with injuries and recovery and stuff in the past, I've been able to avoid major surgeries, like touch wood, I guess. So I guess maybe I'll see how I come out at the end of that. You know, maybe I do get to the end of ADCC trials and go, you know what, fuck it, I'm sick of this, or, you know, like maybe the writing's on the wall and maybe I have lost a step or something like that, and I just can't keep competing with guys at the pro level. We'll see. You know, it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna prepare as hard as I can. In fact, I think one of the things that I was thinking about is that it would probably, it's helping me to frame just how much I still want to do to prepare properly for those comps, so that if I do have to put a cap on it at the end of the year, then I can look back and go, hey, yeah, you know, we've done everything and we've tried everything that we possibly could. So I guess that kind of calibration for me made me go like, oh, well, you know, okay. And maybe there's a message in that for you and how you think about your training, is that you don't really know how long you've got in the sport. You don't really know how long you've got competing, or when the last time you're going to train is. You don't always get that kind of finality or definite, like, hey, today is your last day, we better make it count. So I guess I was just thinking like, yeah, well, if this is going to be the last 2 comps that I do, then fuck, I better make sure that we don't leave any stones unturned, but yeah, it's no sad stories. I've always seen competition as like a bonus. Well, not really a bonus. A bonus is like a positive thing. I always get like super fucking nervous for comps, and the process is an uncomfortable one. I think it's supposed to be. Preparing for comps is hard. Getting your mind and getting your body right, and the hard training and stuff. You sometimes dread. You always tune up for, and then you enjoy the rewards for whatever they are. Like, it's not necessarily the gold medal, but going like, hey man, like, you put in a lot of effort, you got this kind of result, or you got these kind of learnings out of it. And I think that's always kind of why I've tried to chase it even when I didn't feel like it. But yeah, I guess you have that kind of competitive drive in you to do those things. Some people don't, and that's okay too, but like, I guess if my competitive urge isn't firing to go like, well, fuck it, man, regardless of how this surgery goes, you're gonna come out the end and then come back, like, okay, well, I didn't really have that kind of feeling there, and maybe that's because maybe it's because I'm burnt out of competition, or maybe it's because I'm just tired, or maybe it's because like I don't feel like I can do much more. So yeah, just kind of things I've been thinking of. I don't want to rant about it too much, because it's kind of stream of consciousness at that point. But yeah, I guess the big takeaways is that, like, it when you get something like, hey, you're gonna have to have like a pretty significant surgery, you do start to think about like, oh well, fuck, how is this going to affect my life? And with jiu-jitsu being a big part of my life, obviously, like, it's like, okay, well, if I can't do X, then what can I do? Or like, because I know I can't put this off anymore. The reality is it's been something that for the last couple years I've had to deal with, and like, I know it affects more than just like my sleep and my day-to-day life. It's affecting my quality of training on the mats and my mood and stuff like that, because I just can't fucking breathe properly, so if I get some relief from that, from the surgery, and then it does get back to a point where I'm like, hey, yeah, I can train again, that's the first one, because I think if I couldn't train, I'd go insane. And training and coaching is really what I'm like passionate about anyway. So if we can get back to competing, then that's great. But at the same time, I'm also like, well, things never really add up the way you want to. There's no ideal situation, and yeah, like, you've just kind of got to roll with the punches of it a little bit, I guess. And so that's kind of all that I've been thinking about. My main priorities, other than that, have just been staying busy and like keep training and coaching and stuff like that. Obviously, still want to just keep building, with the S&C and with the training and getting ready for ADCC trials. That's the first priority. I've been tossing up whether I do the gi and no gi when I go to IBJJF Jiu-Jitsu Con in Vegas in September, because I do kind of miss the gi, but I just need to focus on no gi for now until June, and then I'll make some assessments from there. Maybe chuck the gi on a couple times just to like keep the game there and like stay serviceable and stay capable. But yeah, I started in the gi, I enjoy the gi, and every time I get back into it, I'm like, fuck, I miss this, and yeah, so I think I might do it, but we'll just play it by ear. It seems like there's quite a bit at the moment. Yeah, when it comes to, I've just had like this back injury last week where I tweaked my back, and at the time, immediately afterwards, I was like, oh, it's not that bad. And then as I cooled down, I pretty much couldn't walk or stand up, and pretty much had to teach a class like fully stationary up against the wall, and that fucking sucked, you know. Like, I don't really like to, I want to be hands-on. I want to be able to get around to people and help them out, or, you know, direct stuff and be able to provide advice or show stuff. And so when you're completely immobile like that, it sucks. And back injuries also kind of, they have this funny way of like affecting your mood and your energy levels and your emotional state, especially because I can't sleep well because of my breathing, but then I can't sleep well because of my back as well, and it starts to snowball on you a bit. So yeah, you know, there's always little things like that, you know, that kind of creep into your training, and you just got to work against them or work around them, I suppose is probably the better term. You can't work against them. You know, if you push against that and you make it worse and aggravate it, you know, that's where a small little tweak becomes a much larger problem. So I'm just trying to be as careful as I can. And yeah, the coaching's been going good. Just the online platform, obviously, articulatebjj.com. I'm slowly starting to onboard more and more clients, you know, every week. Just communicating with people about what they want out of their coaching online. You know, I just want to make sure that it's a really good value service for everyone, and that people feel like it's worthwhile, you know, because I don't want to just sit and be like, oh well, I'm just going to put out like random stuff that doesn't suit you or it isn't informing your training. So I try to actively engage with all of the members that are paying and go, hey, well, yeah, what is it that you're working on? What do you need content around? Because, you know, the video analysis side, like when I'm looking at people's rolling footage or their comp footage, I really like doing that, actually. That's been a really fun process, and like kind of like picking stuff out. You kind of pick stuff up from people, which is really cool, in their training and in their competing. And I'm like, wow, like you did that really well, or like, okay, here's a glaring thing that we need to work on, or like here's small details, what were you thinking? And that's been a really, really fun little process that I didn't think I'd get as much joy out of as I actually do. Like sitting down and going through that has been really fun. And then yeah, just creating some more content that's obviously for like, you know, member access and assigning it to them and stuff. I find that like really engaging for me. It's been something that, you know, I didn't really think I'd get the opportunity to do, and you know, like getting good feedback from people where they're like, man, you know, I tried that thing in training and it's like really working, or like it's not working yet, and then we can like keep building on it and like fixing it or modifying it and turning the dials. It's been a really, really cool process, and something that's just helping to keep my mind busy with all of this other stuff in the background. So yeah, if you are interested in the online coaching and things like that, articulatebjj.com. You know, the links in my bio and Instagram and on YouTube and things like that. So yeah, I do know that there's like a bit of a problem with the SEO and stuff, and it doesn't show up in like Google searches, but there's not too much I really can do about that or want to do about that right now, just because it's like, well, you know, I don't need like randoms. I don't mean that in like a negative way, but I don't need like random people searching for it and finding it. I need like focused people who actually want to get better, and that either know me or like, you know, they know they are seeking that kind of program out, and then they'll come across my stuff hopefully, and decide, hey, like this is someone I resound with, and this is kind of content I can engage with. And yeah, I'm beyond the point of just trying to push it for the sake of pushing it. Like I don't need clout. I don't need 1 million followers and stuff like that. I'd rather just engage with people who want to engage and want to get good at jiu-jitsu, and usually then we're on the same wavelength, so it's great. But yeah, I guess I've kind of done a bit of the stream of consciousness thing anyway. All good. But yeah, anyway, if you want any kind of particular content on the channel, whether that's technique wise or concept wise or anything like that, let me know what you want to see in the comments below. I like hearing people's suggestions on stuff, because often like I read a suggestion or I see someone suggest something for me, and then it gets the cogs turning and I start percolating on it, and I go, oh okay, well yeah, fuck, what do I do that in training? Like, how do I frame that? And so I'm always happy to engage with that. And so let us know what you want to see in any videos or anything like that, and I guess I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers, bye.